Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad to make it. Welcome. This is one of those special moments in my life, and I appreciate you joining me to celebrate the launch of my autobiography. My journey so far has not been a bed of roses, so I'd like to thank God for bringing me this far. Great things He has done, and greater things He will do. A very big thank you to Vita Milk, Brussels Airlines, Glow Scents, Pediasi Valley Resorts for supporting this event. And to a man I hold in high esteem, Manasseh Azuri, thank you for everything. In our midst this evening, our family. Well, I don't have any family over here. Friends. Mentors.
Well, the lady herself is finally here, and I'll just make it as quick as I can. Yvonne, what inspired this book?
My life inspired the book.
And why do you think this is the time for you to actually put it out there?
I want people to get a copy of the book. They would understand why this book is so important to me and why I had to write this book.
Now, talking to some of your colleagues, I asked them if they were privy to some of these stories you shared in the book, and they said yes. Usually we want to keep secrets with our friends, but you have kept these secrets for all these years, and now you have put it in a book and you're putting it out there. Why?
Just grab a copy, you'd know why.
Well,
a copy!
Actor John Dumelo says something which I found very touching. You know, Manasseh put out a tweet about, someone very close to the president wanting you to actually contest against John Dumelo. He was touched about the fact that you reached out to him to tell him about it, and you actually didn't go for it. How close are you? Because this could have fetched you a lot of money. It could have done a lot for you. It could have changed your life, but you didn't do it.
Did John say that?
No, he didn't say that, but I'm saying
But
that
he was touched? He said he was touched?
No, he was like, because you're a friend.
Oh, yeah, of course. Let's just say I'm not ready to do the politics thing right now. But if you want to know all of that and all the questions she's asking, it is in the book. It is in the book.
Now that everything is in the book. Yvonne, it has been launched. Where can we get the books?
Okay, so if you want to read online, you can get it on Amazon Kindle, on Barnes & Noble. You can get it on Apple Books, Kobo. If you want a copy, a hard copy, please follow my pages, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. The numbers are there. Send us a message and we'll send a dispatch to you with a copy.
Should we expect a movie from this book?
Yeah, maybe. The story looks really interesting, but I won't be the one to produce it.
Ivan wants to do it.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, he told.
Oh, really?
George Quay wants to put it in a play.
That'll be cool.
We're looking for it, that you work with them, and for us, congratulations to you. We'll go and read the book, and when we finish reading, we'll come back to ask the questions.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Right, so actor John Dumelo, I know you're a very good friend of Yvonne Nelson. My first question is, would you ever be comfortable to put yourself out there by letting the world know the real you?
Yes. Just as we filmmakers, we tell stories of our culture, our love stories, our heritage. I think it's very important for us to tell our own story, of course, through a book, so that people don't come and tell our stories for us, so that people don't say, oh, we thought it was this or we thought it was that. And so it's very encouraging what she's done. And of course, I would encourage a lot of people to do it. She's done it much earlier. Most people, write their books when they are almost retiring from their careers and so on and so forth. She's done it much earlier, and I know for a fact that probably she would bring, she'll put out more books later on. So I'm pretty proud of her.
Now, you have been a very good friend of Yvonne. She constantly is like, she says it without fear or favor. Looking at the things she has put out in her book, were you privy to some of these things?
Yes, I was. I was privy to some of the things she said in her book, and so it wasn't surprising when I saw some tweets about it. That this was what was going on in her life, and so on and so forth. So I was privy to some of the things, and I'm glad she said it.
Now, looking at her, I know she's more like a sister to you. If you have a sister who has had to go through all of these things, how would you feel, and how would you be able to console her at this time of her life?
Look, I think everybody goes through tough times. And I think, like the saying goes, it's tough people who go through tough times. And so it's very important for you to write them down and for let people know. Maybe somebody's going through a similar story. I mean, yesterday I was with a friend, and, what he kept on saying was, he was just telling me about his life story and what he's going through, and what he went through, and so people go through a lot of things, and what she's going through, somebody will have a similar story. Somebody will say, oh, you know what, I'm going through the same thing, but I like the way Yvonne has come out to talk about it. So it makes you heal quicker so that you can move on quicker.
There was this part Manasseh actually put out about your constituency, that there was somebody so close to the president who wanted her to stand in that constituency. Of course, you were also, standing for the NDC. How would it have been if Yvonne Nelson had taken that position to contest against you?
She told me about this thing long ago, that, somebody approached her to contest, against me. And what I realized was, I respected her for that. I respected her for, number one, telling me. I respected her for not taking that decision, because clearly, if you've been told to contest, of course, whoever is telling you, or the group of people telling you, are ready to support you with whatever it is you need. And so I think she put our friendship there, that, look, you know what, John is my friend. I cannot do this against John. I cannot contest against John. And that is what real friends do. And I've really respected her for that.
Now, considering the fact that all of this has come out, and all that, you as celebrities, do you think that the media somehow misjudge you sometimes based on some of the things that come out from your camps or anything?
Oh, of course. The media always is sometimes not friendly to us. They'll put up certain stories, write or paint a certain picture about you, and let you feel as if you are like this when you're actually not like that. And most celebrities have faced that across the world, from Princess Diana to, of course, some members of the royal family currently, and, other celebrities in the US, around the world. But at the same time, you have the media also promoting some of us, which is good. But they always say controversy sells. If tomorrow there's a news articles that, oh, John Dumelo is fine, he's okay. But if they say, John has done this, hey, everybody will want to read it, everybody will want to comment on it, everybody will, just say negative stuff. So I think, yes, sometimes the media is against us, sometimes they are for us. But I think these days they are more for us than against us. But of course, you still find some bad ones inside.
Now, at the moment, let's talk about you. How are preparations going so far towards, standing again? Yeah.
It's going good. I just came back from Ofinso North. Asin North constituency, where we are campaigning for, the parliamentary candidate there. And so far, so good. And I'm continuing what I'm doing in Ayawaso West. Hopefully, our primaries have been put on hold. So hopefully, in the next few weeks, things will be clear. And then, but nevertheless, I'm not waiting for things to be clear. I'm just moving on, still campaigning. And, so far, so good. I hope, and I know, not I hope, I know that in 2024, I'm definitely going to win the seat for the NDC. And it's going to be pretty historic.
What about Fred Nyama?
I don't know. I'm sure if he was here, you'd ask him. I don't know.
Well, and the farming bit too as well.
Amazing. Every day I'm trying out, I'm thinking about new ways to make farming great again in Ghana. And agric is the only thing that we have. We shouldn't let that slip away from our hands. Either than that, we're going to start importing everything from eggs to whatever it is. And so we should take control of our agric industry. There's so much potential. The youth should get into it. There's so much potential, and trust me, in the next, I know that in the next 10, 15 years, Ghana will be at the top when it comes to agric.
Thank you so much, John.
I love you too.
AKA Lasu, but you can call me Don Mama. Okay, so let's dive in straight. I won't talk much. I called him on phone and said we needed to talk. He still lived with his mother, and this was not the kind of news to break in his house. I called him out of the house when I got to Tema. We sat in my Toyota RAV4. He drove a Toyota Matrix at that time, if my memory serves me right. I sensed the intensity of his emotions when I broke the news to him. I could hear his heart pounding. And when he finally found his voice, he faltered. His message was, however, unambiguous. He didn't want the pregnancy. That would damage him and his career. The only option was to get rid of it. Whether or not his career and the uncertainty of my life were real reasons he could not afford to keep the pregnancy, I cannot tell. I later discovered that he had a girlfriend attending a university outside the country. It was in the absence that he got involved with me and things got dangerously complicated. Whatever it was, his stance was clear, and I was left to evaluate my own options. The first thing that hit me when he said no to keeping the pregnancy was my own life. I had grown up without a father in my life. I had often been reminded of how I had been born by mistake. I was still wondering if the man whose name I bore was my father. How was I going to bring another human being into this world to live like me? Someone whose father would reject him or her as well as Mr. Nelson had rejected me. If there was a way to spare someone else the trauma I was contending with, why would I reject that option? Especially when I was not psychologically and emotionally prepared to be a mother. In my circles, only 2 of my friends knew about the pregnancy. If someone else knew, apart from the 3 of us, I don't know who told that person. I later discovered that Sarkodie's team also knew about it. Huh? As I wondered what to do next, a friend of mine said she knew a certain pill that I could take to get rid of the fetus before it's festering. She was in a hostel and had a room to herself. That made her hostel the ideal place to do it. So, one weekend, I visited her and took the pills. I swallowed one and inserted the other into my vagina. Only after I gave birth that I was able to get a clinician to liken the pain I felt to. The pain came with severe bleeding and lasted so long that I became weak. I could see life slipping out of my frail body. When I sat on the WC, clots of blood fell into the toilet bowl like constipated. When the bleeding and pains finally stopped, I went to do another pregnancy test to ascertain the efficacy of the self-administered procedure. The pregnancy was still there, intact. Thank you.
My sister here, Jocelyn, obviously, who was here to support her sister Yvonne as well. Jocelyn, there's a question I keep asking. Would you be comfortable to put your life in a book for the whole world to read about it?
I mean, I think that with what we find ourselves doing, our lives are already out there. Whether there's a perception or there's none, people already sort of, study our lives. So yes, why not? I mean, I think that, like Yvonne said, she was inspiring. The idea behind this is to inspire someone. There's a girl out there with a dream just like she had, and the blueprint that she used, she's hoping that the person is going to even follow and do better. So I think that yes, why not? I would be comfortable doing that.
Would I say, knowing her in the industry, some of the things she read out from this book, would you say you were privy to some of them?
Actually, no. I haven't. Unfortunately, I haven't worked with her before. But then, she's my friend. She's an acquaintance in the industry, and I think that she's heavily misunderstood. So I'm very happy that she's doing this and she's bearing it all. And to say the least, I think all of us in the industry are heavily misunderstood. So if there's an outlet for you to sort of channel and tell your story the best way you know how, why not? And I think that nobody can tell your story for you but you. So this is such a step in the right direction, and I'm so proud of her. Yeah.
Do you think you would ever put a book together?
I don't know.
So Shirley Frimpong-Manso, of course, one of the best directors in the country, was here to support Yvonne Nelson. First off, I'm sure you know Yvonne Nelson so well. Would you ever be so comfortable to put out things we do not know about you in a book for the world to read about it?
I have to say, it takes guts. It takes a lot of guts to be able to put it out there like that, especially in the kind of society that we're in. We're not very used to that kind of truth, and so I guess that's where we have to applaud her, because Yvonne has always set her pace. She's always been very different. She's always set her pace. She's always said her truth. And this is what is manifested into the book, and I'm very proud of her. Yes, she's still got a lot of years doing what she does and loving what she does, and for her to do this at this stage, which means that there's a lot more stuff that she can do out there. So I'm so proud of her. I don't know if I can do it. Hopefully I get Yvonne's guts in a few years to be able to do something like that. But this is very encouraging.
Sometimes we hear a few of our celebrities complain that we don't we sort of paint them in a bad light to the public and all that. Bringing out a book, what else can we as media people be able to put out there so that it doesn't look like, oh, I'm only telling my story through a book? That celebrity, who wants us to know them better? Is it only a book? What else can we do to get to know you better?
I think one of the things that people need to understand is as much as a public person is out there and perhaps putting aspects of their life in the public, there are also a lot of things about their life that they like to keep to themselves. So for me, I think there should be some amount of respect when it comes to, a public figure and how much access the media thinks they can have for them. If I want to talk about it, it's a completely different thing. If I don't want to talk about it, I think that boundary needs to be set. And I feel like that's what the media needs to get. I understand that sometimes, to an extent, people put so much out there, and then at a certain point when the media wants to probe, it's like, don't come here. But it is not easy for somebody who's out there doing the work they do, and then it comes with all the attention. And so I think some boundaries will be very helpful. Yes.
Now knowing you, Shirley, I know that you indeed have a story to tell, knowing where you have come from, where you are. There might even some I have probably missed. Would you ever consider that in a movie or even in a book?
I think perhaps, I don't know. I mean, I'm more of a movie person. I mean, I do write. I do a lot of writing, and I know that I will do some writing. This kind of writing sometime in the future. Whether or not the movie will come before the book, I'm not too sure. But I think it's better when you write the book and you translate it into a movie. Yes, and so perhaps in that order.
Right, there you go. So I have Mr. Ivan Kwashiga, who is someone Yvonne Nelson doesn't play with at all. How do you feel this day, knowing the young girl you have seen grow to become who she is today, to actually put out a book like this?
Well, I mean, I am not surprised, because when I first met Yvonne, right after she did the Miss Ghana competition, and I was looking for stars for Fortune Island, my self-produced television series, I saw something in her. She actually rapped during the casting. She did a lot of things that made me see that she has several facets to herself. And I knew that she's not only going to become a great actress, but she will do so many other things. And this is one of those things, and I'm very, very proud about what I'm seeing today.
Now, looking at the book she has put out, would you consider speaking to her to put it in a movie?
Already, I was speaking with George Quay when he said that he would like to put it on stage. And I think that is something that we have to consider putting onto the screens as well. And I will be honored to direct it.
Now, I know a lot of celebrities always feel like the media has not put them out in a good light to their fans. And so sometimes they find it difficult to actually let us know the kind of people we are. Now, looking at what Yvonne Nelson has done, what would it take for other celebrities to actually let us know who they really are and not necessarily put them in a bad light to the public or their fans?
Well, I heard one of the people on the high table say that we are seeing Yvonne Nelson as she truly is. And I think that it is something that is going to open up the vistas for Ghanaian so-called celebrities and people that have done things that will be able to come out and tell us exactly who they really are. In this age of social media, where everybody is putting the good side of their lives in front of us, a book like Yvonne Nelson's is giving us another dimension of what celebrities can put out. I believe that this book is going to inspire people, young people who are going through difficulties, people who don't know what to do with their lives. This book is going to inspire them to know that someone like Yvonne Nelson has gone through the mill, he has gone through all that they are going through. And I believe that if it will make celebrities start looking at giving this kind of opportunities for young people, telling the real stories about themselves to us without showing the make-believe world that we've been creating, that everything is nice. When you are eating in a nice restaurant, you take a picture of the food as if you have so much money. All these things that we've been putting out, I believe that this book is going to dispel that kind of attitude. It's going to make us see things for real. Yeah.
So I have Medical here, obviously, who is a very good friend of Yvonne, and he also had a lot to share. Medical, I see a bit of likeness in what Yvonne Nelson has done. You have been through a lot in your life, and you definitely have a lot to share. Would you ever consider putting your life story in a book and ready to tell it all to the world to know more about you?
Yeah, I think it's something dope. It's something good to do because, you know, people like Yvonne Nelson are superheroes, you understand? So a lot of people look up to, you know, such people. She's a very nice person too. So, I mean, I actually haven't read the book yet. I'm yet to read it, and then I know that there's going to be greatness in there. It's something dope. But I'd like to do that maybe one day. I'd like to put some things together. Shout out to Yvonne Nelson. Congrats. I mean, she's my sister, you know, so I'm very happy she did something like this. It's for our song.
All right. Now, I'm looking at you, and you have literally started acting. Oh, come on, but is this something you would like to consider full-time?
I mean, I don't mind. I'm an entertainer. Anything I go do, it will make somebody happy. I don't mind. I mean, we are all creatives, and you can take it anywhere. You can take it to the music side. You can take it to the movies, other stuff. So yeah, you can see me in a lot of movies. I was in Fela McCaffrey's movie. Shout out to Fela. Sewa, the series is out. Go check it out.
That's why I saw you.
Okay, so yeah. So, I mean, it's nice. It's dope. You see me in movies, a lot of movies, correct movies. You go see me.
Yeah. How does it feel, I mean, being a married man and always supporting your wife in an industry like this? How does it feel?
I mean, it's great, you know. I feel like if you love someone, or, you know, not just your wife, like friends, family, people who are, you know, dear to your heart, you have to support them, you get me? Because they also do the same for you. She also supports me as well, so it's only right that I reciprocate that same energy and same love that comes. So it's dope. Yeah, it's good.
Well, before I let you go, you had an altercation with Michi. Have you been able to have you been able to sort out that issue?
You know what's crazy? I've never spoken about this anywhere, but I just want to say, I wish her all the best, and I mean, she should find peace. I don't think, Shatta hates her or anything. And if my friendship with Shatta is a problem to her, like, she should rub that off her mind, because I don't have anything against her, you get me? There's no bad blood. Like, that was my first time seeing her, so I was surprised when she came at me, because, like, I mean, me and you don't get any problems. So, so Michi, if you don't watch me, if I do you something, wait, I don't know, I'm very sorry. I just want you to be happy, take care of your son, you all should be happy. And, I don't want to talk some things, but God bless you. Don Dada, shouts to Don Dada.
And music-wise, what's up? What's up now?
Yeah, Planning and Plotting album is coming out. When it comes out, you guys should support it, stream it, share it, buy it, progress it, anything will be positivity. We're gonna bring them out. Planning and Plotting is coming out. Yeah.
I have two great people who have literally worked with Yvonne, and it looks like it takes someone who actually believes in this young lady to be able to, cast her in a movie and get her to get this far to actually put a book together. Frank and of course Abdul Salam Umni. Let me start with Abdul first. Abdul, what made you see in Yvonne Nelson to actually be one of the first people to put her in a movie?
Let me say, when I saw her, I saw something in her. I felt like she can be a good actress, so I decided to work on her, and then she's a big star today. So let me say congratulations to Yvonne, and I'm so excited to see her writing a book, and then I will have time to read the book and then and see what is in the book. But for now, I'm so excited and I'm happy for her, and then because she came from far. Yeah.
Abdul, I know that you are one person who literally took movies to that level in this industry. You are not too much into it lately. What is the problem?
I'm still on set filming, and because now we shoot for online. It's not like those days that when we shoot movies on DVDs or VCD. Now we shoot and put it online platform or put it on TV. So movies are not to get a hard copy to watch. You can only watch it on TV or subscribe on an online platform to watch. But we are still filming.
Would you say that things have been a bit difficult in terms of the era of social media, online and everything?
It wasn't like before, like those days that there's a lot of things to watch. Now people can watch on different sites and stuff. So the subscription or watching movie has come down a little bit, but we are still pushing. Yeah.
Keep it up.
Thank you.
All right, I have Frank Raja here, and Frank Raja has been always with us. But Frank, why did you run and leave us in Ghana here?
Well, for a lot of reasons. I didn't run and leave you guys. I'm in Ghana right now. Aren't you to me? I'm here.
You are here, but prior to you being here, you have always literally lived here. But these days you are more in Nigeria, and you are somebody who actually helped this industry grow. What made you switch to go back to Nigeria?
Well, in everything in life, there's a time for everything. I think there was time for me. It was a time for me to go back to my country, and I thought it wise to go back to my country. At that point in time, a whole lot of other things was happening, and people were actually doing well. So it's like you've been able to groom a lot of people, and the people you've groomed has become even parents to so many others. So I mean, it was high time I took my leave, so I did it.
But right now, Nigeria is doing very well. Look at Ghana. When you were there too, why wouldn't you consider coming back here to, help us grow it back, because it's tough now?
I am in Ghana right now. Am I not? I'm back in Ghana. Yes, I'm in Ghana. I'm set to do a lot here right now. So I'm sure you're going to be seeing more of my films here in Ghana right now. Yes.
Thank you. But before you go, how do you feel about Yvonne Nelson's book, considering the fact that she has put literally everything about her in a book for the world to know about it?
Well, if I am not one who believes in her, I don't think I will be here right now. She didn't even know I was in town. You hear my point? And Abdul knew. Abdul told me, and Abdul said, "Okay, Frank, don't tell her you're in town. Like, just surprise her and be there. So I believed in her. I believe in her creation, and I thought it was necessary for me to be here to support her. And the reason I did, and I'm here right now to do.
God bless you.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate that.
Prince David Osei is a very good friend of Yvonne Nelson. But Prince, first off, how do you feel knowing your friend has been able to put together a book that tells the story of her life?
Well, before the onset of the book, she spoke to me about it. And I believe her honesty has paid off because she's spoken her mind. You know, most often we hide behind the screen and we don't let the people know who we really are. From what the people read, you could tell she was more like, should I use the word naked? She opened herself up to really say her mind as it is and not hold back. I think it's something good.
Some of the things she's been through, I know you work with her a lot. Would you say you are privy to some of these things?
Yeah, I have an idea of some of the things that were written in the book before now. Yeah.
And how do you feel that what you knew or something you thought was a secret between you all is being put in a book for the world to know about it?
Well, Yvonne is Yvonne. When she told me about it, I was like, wow, but she had already done it. She always wants to be herself, and she feels a masterpiece like this will encourage other people to speak out, to voice out. And you know, there are a lot of people going through depression and stuff because they find it very difficult to express themselves, to confide in people. So they rather put on a face and be excruciating. So it's something good. The young ones will learn from it. And, you know, those who have faltered in one way will also trend and have fun.
Would you ever consider doing one yourself? Maybe write a book or put your life in a movie?
Yes, I had wanted to write a book, but my wife told me, Prince, time needs to end. Because I have a lot of story to tell as well. But I think when you get to that pinnacle where you've achieved all that you want to achieve, then you can tell your story. Because sometimes when you tell it too early, it might have its consequences. So definitely write a book someday.